Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Ya'ateh Ben. We're ready to start our day, so please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and bodies are still. Eyes are on the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 6th. Okay, friends, let's start the day with some music together. Mrs. Neff has given us the selection for the week. Tell me what we're listening to. And that is Carnival of the Animals, The Aquarium by Camille Saint-Saëns. Hopefully you got that correct. Let's see. Let me see if we can play this one without a commercial. If a commercial comes on, I'm going to shut it off and we'll just take it from our playlist. But I'm taking the music from the playlist that Mrs. Neff has on YouTube. But sometimes when you play YouTube, you get a commercial, and we don't have time for a commercial this morning. Tell me what we're listening to. It's a fast-moving one. What's that one? Flight of the Bumblebee by Rimsky-Korsakov. That's right. Let's try another one. How about this one? What are we listening to? 12 Variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star by Mozart. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. That's right. It's also the ABC song, if you sing that, or Bow Bow Black Sheep. Same tune. How about one more? Okay, a more recent one, also by Mozart, and it is Eine kleine Nachtmusik, or Serenade number 13. That's right. Okay, let's do our poem for the week. And do you remember our poet's name? Emily Dickinson, right? Famous American poet who hardly ever left her house and sat around and noticed things around in her yard and wrote poetry, and has become famous for many, many years after she has passed away. So hundreds of years later, we're still going to be reading her poems, and she never even left her house. Isn't that interesting? So she wrote a poem, A Narrow Fellow in the Grass by Emily Dickinson, and this is from our 6th grade poems. So if you were a 6th grader, you'd be memorizing this poem. A narrow fellow in the grass occasionally rides. You may have met him, did you not? His notice instant is. The grass divides as with a comb, a spotted shaft is seen, and then it closes at your feet and opens further on. He likes a boggy acre, a floor too cool for corn, But when a boy in barefoot I more than once at noon have passed, I thought a whiplash unbraiding in the sun. When stooping to secure it, it wrinkled and was gone. Several of nature's people I know and they know me. I feel for them a transport of cordiality, but never met this fellow, attended or alone, without a tighter breathing and zero to the bone. Do you feel a zero to the bone when something happens? This is the season for zero to the bone, isn't it? I notice on when we get closer to Halloween, the television shows, the movies that are on, the commercials are all about scary things. And so when things scare us, it's like we feel zero to the bone. And that's what Emily Dickinson says about the narrow fellow in the grass. Do you go zero to the bone when you see a snake, or are you excited to go pick it up and take a look and see what kind of snake? Not so much in Arizona. I wouldn't recommend that, but I've seen a few little snakes in my yard who seem friendly enough, but sometimes they can be dangerous, so you don't always want to be doing that. Okay, architecture. Let's take a look at some architecture. We have the White House, front and back, right? There's going to be a debate this evening for the vice presidents. The vice presidents are having a debate for Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. So they're both, so Mike Pence is the vice president for Donald Trump, who's our current vice president, and we're in an election in just a few weeks. The citizens, right, we the people, will elect a president, and it'll either be Donald Trump again for a new term, for a second term, or it would be Joe Biden for his first term. And the vice presidents, so every president has a vice president. So we have Donald Trump, the vice president is Mike Pence, and we have Joe Biden, who is a potential candidate for the election. So he would like to be president, and if he became president, if we the people were to vote him in, Kamala Harris is the vice president. So Kamala Harris and Mike Pence will have a debate this evening. Okay, friends, what is this? U.S. Supreme Court, that's right, we're awaiting the confirmation of another justice to see what happens, and then our court will be full there. All right, and we have U.S. Capitol building. And who meets here? Our representatives, right? Our representatives who will also, there's a few who are also in an election this year, so we'll know who they are or will be in November, first week in November, when we vote, first Tuesday in November. And this, Washington Monument. All right, we haven't looked at this one in a while. See if you can remember. Jefferson Memorial. He sort of has a rounded dome, and his home in Monticello is the name of his home. It has that same dome. And do you know what Monticello means in Italian? Hillock. I'm not kidding. Monticello. Hillock, like Mrs. Hillock. Okay, friends? And this is Lincoln Memorial. And on the inside of the Lincoln Memorial, there are some words to a speech. Tell me what's carved in there. Gettysburg Address. That's right. We all know that. 7 years ago, our fathers came forth on this continent. Let's see. Art. This week we are looking at George Seurat. That's right. A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte. And this is what style of painting, of art? Pointillism. Little tiny dots, little tiny dots. I meant to print off another picture by George Seurat. We'll try to get to that tomorrow. Okay, let's see. We've looked at that recently. You don't want to forget. Do you remember American Gothic? The two people standing in front of the farmhouse. That was by Grant Wood. And also by Grant Wood is, who's this down here? Paul Revere, The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. The 18th of April of 75. Hardly a man is still alive who remembers that day. Okay, friends, let's do, let's say we do have a couple of birthdays today. Layla's having a birthday. Happy birthday, Layla. And Chase is having a birthday. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you both have a great day today. Let's see, our amendments to the Constitution, right? The U.S. Constitution in September 17th, 1787 is when our Constitution was ratified. We have 10 amendments that were added so that our states would be able to accept the Constitution as written, because the Constitution outlined all of the rules about how the United States would be a government, but it didn't protect the people at first. So James Madison, who later became our 4th president, wrote the first 10 amendments, which are called the Bill of Rights. So let's do the first amendment together. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Okay, Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. All right, let's do the first one again together. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. How are we doing with memorizing the First and Second Amendment? Are we ready to add the third one? Okay, perhaps tomorrow we can try that and see if we can add the third one so we can start memorizing all 10. So that we don't forget, we practice the preamble to the Constitution every day. And from time to time, we'll practice the Declaration of Independence and also the Gettysburg Address, so that we keep those in our minds, so that we know what our rights and our legacy has been, so that we can pass those on to our posterity, right? That word comes up a lot, that we're doing this for ourselves and for our future generations, because we, the people, have to maintain this. It's not someone else's job. There's no one in charge. It's we, the people, who are in charge. Okay, friends? So announcements, like I said, Friday is the close of the quarter, so make sure you're doing your math and your literacy English work first, and then all your other subjects after that. If you are struggling or behind, or you're worried about something, contact your teacher, or have your parents contact your teacher. We do have School Fridays. Some people have mentioned that there was an old calendar that went out that we that had one time had a parent-teacher conference, but we did our parent-teacher conferences at the beginning of the school year. And if you're looking at that calendar didn't have those things on there. So so I will be sending out a calendar just to make sure everyone has the correct one. And it's an unusual year because the calendar is based on us going to school every day. And we know, like, today is Wednesday and there's no school today in school. Teachers are still working, and you can work online, but there's no in-school time on Wednesday. So the calendar is a little tricky like that because it doesn't really say that. But it does have the days off, so that much you can know. That's all we have for today, so let's say our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.